on this big WrestleMania 34 weekend. Oh, yeah, I forgot we don't count anymore. It's just WrestleMania.
It's just WrestleMania with the logo of wherever they're at.
Yes.
Have you seen the stage?
I have. The girls. I saw the girls.
The
The women. The women showing on. Yeah. I like
the girl mask. That was pretty. And Pyro's back!
Of course.
A ton of pyro for just showing the stage. I was like, okay, well, overdoing it.
That's why they can't use it anymore for the rest of the year if they do WrestleMania.
Because they spend all their budget right there.
They got to start off with pyro, during halfway with pyro, and at the end with pyro.
So probably when they announce how many people are there, they will do pyro.
Yeah,
like,
that's
really? Why?
They kill their pyro budget.
Yeah, they have a pyrotechnician, a chief pyrotechnician on staff. He might as well get paid for something, huh?
That's true, because he ain't doing nothing else.
He ain't doing nothing for the rest of the year.
I know. Well, let's get started this week, because today is NXT TakeOver, because it's Saturday. And we watched the Hall of Fame last night, and I just got word Hillbilly Jim is still giving his acceptance speech.
Yes.
So, that's...
And we did have someone thank their mama.
Yes, they did.
But he did not talk as long as Mr. T.
Yep, so they brought Mr. T, which was funny.
They did. That was hilarious.
That was funny. But it was a good Hall of Fame. It lasted 4 hours.
4 hours. And then we got what?
An hour
pre-show tonight.
Oh, tonight? Yes. Yeah, an hour.
How long is that? The pay-per-view, actually?
Till 9:30. 2.5 hours.
So 2.5 hours. They can go over if they want to.
Go over.
So possibly 3. Yeah. So you had 4 hour plus plus an hour thing last night.
Yeah, the red carpet.
So that's 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9 hours there plus 7 Sunday. Woo!
That's why they say it's a weekend, folks, because it's a whole weekend.
Woo! But
then you got trying to come back to Raw on Monday and SmackDown on Tuesday.
I know, it's the craziest thing.
So.
And you also got to know that they're also doing filming Jeff Jarrett all weekend. They're filming Ronda Rousey all weekend.
Yep.
They're filming all these people for future documentaries, and they're doing a lot of table for threes. We know Jeff Jarrett's supposed to be doing one of those.
Yep.
And we saw one coming up with Shane, Kurt, and AJ Styles. That'll be a good one.
That'll be a good one, yeah.
But speaking of this weekend, WrestleMania 34 Axxess is featuring 4 invitational tournaments. 1 for the UK title, 1 for the North American title, 1 for the NXT Women's, and the tag titles. So basically, throughout Axxess, which is
I have not seen anything else I saw was Nikki Cross advance. I haven't seen nothing else but anybody else advancing.
Well, they're still doing. They did it yesterday and today
and Thursday.
And Thursday, yes. And so Sunday they're going to be doing the finals against the people that win the finals are facing the champions during Axxess Sunday afternoon.
Right.
And so
whoever wins the North American title tonight, the ladder match has tomorrow and has the title. Yes.
Yes. So they also have 2 top indie stars, Keith Lee and Walter.
Walter, yes.
Just his name, Walter.
Yes.
There's also one in the tournament, Jason Kincaid.
Mm-hmm.
Is supposed to be in there.
But with Keith Lee and Walter, they're both taking on Kassius Ohno. I know that Keith Lee he defended the Evolve title, I think it was, and he beat
Is it Evolve or the WWN title? I don't know which one it is.
Maybe one or the other.
But, yeah, so he defended the title against Kassius Ohno,
yes,
correct?
I think he did that Thursday and already won. It's either Thursday or Friday.
I mean, that's huge. That's huge. I mean, there's people from Evolve at the Axxess. There's people from Progress at the Axxess. This is big stuff. And that, I mean, and I don't know if you watched the tour on YouTube where Kathy Kelly, Stephanie, and Triple H toured Axxess before it ever opened.
I got
it was about 51 minutes long.
I got a alert about it, but I never did look at it.
And let me tell you, when Triple H is grumpy, you can tell. Because he was grumpy. I was just watching it today, and at one point he was speaking, and then Stephanie and Kathy, they were all speaking, and he's like, all right, well, since y'all are going to talk over me, I'll stop talking. I was like, ooh, and Stephanie goes, I'm sorry. Like, you could tell it was not rehearsed. It was completely live. They called someone over from way on the other side of the Axxess. It's 20,000 square feet is this building. Crap. The biggest Axxess they've ever done with all the signings and all the merchandising and all that kind of stuff. And they were showing some of the merchandising. But he got aggravated with that. You can tell he's aggravated. And then the guy comes over and he's supposed to put over like everything that's going on with the merchandising and stuff, and the guy just says, all right, come on out to WrestleMania Axxess, 20,000 square feet. This is the biggest one we've ever done, and bring your wallets. only thing he said. And he's like, Triple H looked at him and said, "You literally walked all the way from the other side of this building just to say that?" You could tell this man was agitated. Also, they have a thing where you can take a picture with the Snickers thing saying what you are when you're grumpy, like cray cray, or one was said raw, one said hot mess, and she said she was looking one for him, and I can't remember what it said, but it had to do with him being grumpy, and I was like, because I think she could tell that he was very perturbed, and at one point, it was hilarious. The cameraman, for some odd reason, even though they're touring this building, which means that the star of the tour is the building, which means you need to be panning around to let's see what's happening. He focused on Kathy, on Stephanie, on Triple H. He stayed on them like the whole time, and they were looking at. I don't know if you went to Axxess when you went, but there's a big entrance, and the way they're doing it this year is when you first walk in, there's all kind of lights, there's music, and there's like panels, like pillars almost on the side with each big name wrestler, like Ronda, Stephanie, Triple H, Kurt, and you're walking past them so you can take pictures with them in the background and stuff like that. And there was a guy that was helping them with the tour and said, "This is what you'll see when you first walk into Axxess." And the cameraman's looking at Triple H, and Triple H is literally going,
"Yeah, I know you want to."
He said, and he literally goes, "We're looking at what we're seeing when we walk into Axxess." Like he was looking at the camera guy, like, "Quit being an idiot." And then, the
somebody
cameraman,
was talking to when they got.
The cameraman looked back at Triple H again, and then the guy was talking about different stuff, and again Triple H went, "Turn around." I was like, this guy's getting fired.
Yes.
I felt so bad because you could tell.
Thank goodness there's other companies in New Orleans right now that he can go work for. Cause
I was thinking to myself, you could tell he is so aggravated right now.
Yeah, because I love the videos that people do this stuff with their phone.
Yeah, the
Mattel stuff. And
that was another thing. They went to Mattel. They
clothes.
It was really cool. I did not know this. They did a before and after for Stephanie McMahon with the milk truck. Before getting soaked with the milk and after.
Wow. And
that's a couple of the action figures that they had on display there. And they have like 3 or 4 guys that work at Mattel that are at the Mattel area that you can that walked around with them and stuff like that. So it's really neat. And
yeah, because Mattel wasn't big when I went to Atlanta. It
right.
wasn't that big. Like with the store, there was no store.
Yeah.
I think that started like the next year or the year after.
Because I think I went 2 years after you. And the store was pretty big, like the signings, everything. The store, but the store was just literally like how they do it. The other shows, just a back panel thing hanging up.
Now
and that was it. Now it's legit. You walk through a store and you go to a line and you check out like it's a real store. And, I mean, there's so much stuff everywhere. TJP also did a video where he toured the store to show people what was going on. I mean, they've literally gone all out. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger every year. And I just wish it wasn't in New York next year because I really want to go.
And then they're talking Minnesota the following year.
Getting out of the South again.
They are, but maybe they'll make a ring right around to Atlanta again. Try the new Mercedes-Benz, which is also the Mercedes-Benz.
Isn't it weird?
It is weird.
But anyway, so big news here is Dana White is revealing that Brock Lesnar's UFC future is he is coming back. He said, I don't know when, but he's coming back. And we do know that it is a fact that Brock Lesnar's contract ends Sunday.
Yes.
So, Paul Heyman's done some interviews, and in the interviews he said, when they asked what happens Sunday, we know he's going to UFC. And he said, no. We know that he's eventually going to UFC. If he loses the belt, he will leave. If he keeps the belt, then guess what, y'all? He's got leverage to talk to Vince. And that's the story they're going with.
Yeah.
But
because you don't want to put it like, well, he's done.
He's won. So Paul is trying to turn it like, well, he could win, and if he does, he's got leverage to get another contract. But that's not how it really works.
It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me to see Brock win it Sunday.
And then lose it Monday night.
And lose it Monday night to Roman Reigns. Because some screwy little finish, his foot's on the rope, the referee, some screwy thing that Roman did
because you do have to have the big moment on Raw. You have to have the big Monday night after WrestleMania. So
that would be like them going, aha, we got them. We got the marks. We got them because they.
And it would be a full, complete year of him being the champion from one WrestleMania to the other, correct?
Yes, it would be.
So big news there with Lesnar leaving, and then another big show revealing he has a new contract, and he's in the details. It's a multi-year deal. Said he's not going anywhere.
Well, that's good. That means that'll be multi-year before he headlines.
Before he headlines the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
But he said that as he was ringing the bell for the New York Stock Exchange.
Well, I'm glad for Big Show. I mean,
he looks like he's in great shape.
Yes, he's in great shape.
I guess that the replacement of the hip, I mean, he could be like Roddy. Roddy had a hip replacement, wrestle for like 10, 15 more years.
Oh, yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, maybe they should stick him on SmackDown because Raw's got a bunch of big people. Unless he's going to be future tag team champion.
Right, which that's what I'm hoping for. That's my hope is that he is Braun Strowman's tag team partner.
Did you see where they freak people out where Braun took a picture of him and Bray Wyatt together?
Really?
Yes.
No, and I know there's a video on YouTube right now for WWE.
Which Bray? A new Bray would be different. Hey, it's championship goal for Bray. It's something else.
Right, he's supposed to have a new look and everything when he comes back. But they said there's a video, I didn't get to watch it yet, of Braun teasing who his partner might be. Talking about different possibilities.
Yeah.
But in NXT news, it does appear that Ricochet will not be getting his name changed by WWE.
Good.
Which, I mean, I figured that once they had him on the show, and he came out already, and it's Ricochet on screen.
We're talking about it when it was introduced at Philadelphia, TakeOver Philadelphia. They said Trevon, Ricochet, man. So they figured that's what they're going to do with it, but then they just call Ricochet. That's fine.
I mean, they could use the name and separate it. He'd be Ricochet.
Let's not Ricochet.
Let's not Ricochet it.
Let's not Ricochet it. No. Former Impact Wrestling star was backstage at Raw this past week.
Paige revealed that to everybody.
James Storm. Spoiler alert here.
But he had a guest pass on, which means he may have just been backstage
talking to
friends,
talking to Hunter.
Possibility, but
could he be sitting in the stands tonight at Takeover?
And that would be fine with me.
Could he cost Bobby Roode the United States Championship?
You never know, but he was also there with injured stars Samoa Joe, who was at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, with his wife or girlfriend.
Jeff Hardy, who was at the Hall of Fame, especially to see not only Dudley's, but his best friend, Jeff Jarrett, who... Jeff Jarrett is very funny that him and Matt Hardy don't get along, but yet the brothers are best friends. Jeff and Jeff are best friends. Alicia Fox,
who we hadn't seen.
We hadn't seen her since she broke her tailbone practicing for the Royal Rumble. So she will most likely, she should be completely healed from a broken tailbone.
Everybody's cleared.
So she'll probably be in the women's battle royal.
Yeah, I expect her to be. And R-Truth.
Yes.
So. But none of them showed up on Raw.
Which is very funny, though, that they, during the tour, they have memorabilia, of course, and they got the guy that's in charge of the all the memorabilia, and he toured them through that stuff. And it's very funny that they have one that's it's a women's evolution thing, and you go through and all the different women's stuff. They've got however you say her last name, Nakata, something like that.
Yeah.
Her and Alundra Blaze and Mae Young, and they
not very much Famous Moolah.
Now, Sensational Sherri, they have a bunch of her outfits and stuff like that. But during that, they kept talking about the first ever women's WrestleMania Battle Royal, first ever.
Yeah.
And then he goes. And this right here is from when they had the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania 25 won by a guy. And I was like, see, technically they've had a Women's Battle Royal before WrestleMania. But at least there won't be a guy in this one. And that was the other thing. He didn't know who the guy was, the guy who's in charge of all the memorabilia. Because earlier in that he showed Beth, it said, and Beth Phoenix right here facing a man. And it was Santino. Both those things had to do with Santino. I was like, this guy has no idea who Santino is.
Well, that was a Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal.
Right.
Yeah, this is the
Women's WrestleMania Battle Royal.
But speaking of the Women's WrestleMania Battle Royal, and
we went straight into it, didn't we? And I didn't even read ahead.
I love what Jericho said to Vince. I hate that Vince turned it down, though.
So he revealed the name that he pitched to Vince for WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Sensational Invitational.
Yes. And name it as Sherri Martel.
But again, they could go back to bad publicity because of drugs.
Well, there's a lot of people they do that with.
Right.
Yeah, the trophy looks kind of, like...
Someone compared it to women's reproductive system. With the way it's all out
Did you say that? It is.
Oh, that's what.
It is. You're right. It's got two little pink streamers hanging off of it too. So
somebody's like, "This is disrespectful." Somebody posted the trophy and underneath it, the women's reproductive system underneath it in a meme on Facebook.
That's funny. I did not think about that, but yeah, once you said that,
that's awful.
It is true. That's funny. That'll be changed. It'll be make it taller, skinnier.
And this is very.
Or they
interesting.
make it like an hourglass, like a woman's body.
There you go.
So.
They're like, "Oh, that's sexist."
I know. Everything.
Well, this is interesting. I did not know about this. The WWE might be changing.
Hey, here's
Big
one.
Cass.
Here's one. Linda McMahon.
Yes.
There you go.
But politics. Can't say it. Can't do it. I mean, Stephanie could have been a just pompous heel and said, name it after her.
That's true.
Or just call it Miss McMahon. Women's Battle Royal. But that's interesting that they filed a trademark for Colin Cassady, which is what Big Cass was known as before they called him Big Cass.
Well, they're doing that. They want to distance him as far away from Enzo as they can get when he comes back.
Is that why you think they're doing it?
That's why they're want to do away with the Big Cass. I'm saying yes.
I mean, but that's his thing. He's Big Cass.
Well, he didn't be Colin Cassady. No.
Nobody wants to say Colin Cassady.
Yeah, they'll turn it into just Colin.
Or just Cassidy.
And then it'll be turned into Big Cass again.
And later on, probably, yeah. But he was also at the Hall of Fame. I saw him in the audience.
I did too.
Nowhere near Carmella.
No. Carmella, they were her sister.
Yep. And all the other women, and Becky Lynch looked like her boobies was about to come out of that outfit.
What about Lana?
I mean, that technically was covered, because this right here
know, what
was
about
skin colored.
Lana's thing, like, good gracious.
This black stuff was here, but right here was skin colored cloth, though.
Right.
So technically still covered up. But Becky's was like under boob.
Yeah, she had the X thing.
She had the X thing with the white, and it was under boob coming out. Because they went to look at Charlotte.
Yes.
And Becky was right there, and her boob was hanging out, and they zoomed in real quick to Charlotte because they're like, oh crap. That's what it looked like. They were trying.
got boobage.
Boobage! Go on in there. But anyway, WrestleMania 34, like we said tomorrow, we have predictions on the match times. This is not our predictions.
No, this is not our predictions. We found the predictions and we put them on here. But we'll just see how, we think they're going to be that about.
We're going to start out with the kickoff show with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. In match prediction, they're saying 11 minutes.
That's a quick Battle Royal.
At least give it 15.
I'd say at least 15. But yeah, that's a quick.
Yeah.
Well, while they're talking, 50 of the people get in the ring.
I mean, because all three of these matches could really pull off 15 minutes. It's a 2-hour pre-show.
Yeah.
They could all three do 15 minutes.
And I believe they're going to put all of them pretty much on the second hour that's on. It's going to be on USA Network.
Right, try to pull people in.
Yes.
So that's, 45 minutes of the hour? So there you go. And you still got time right after the match is over to blah, 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 blah about the matches.
Well, pretty much Roman Reigns and all that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, Cruiserweight title match. Prediction on that one is 15 minutes.
Yeah, I can see them going. I see them going a good 15 minutes.
And I think that Rockstar Spud will be out there, maybe even on commentary, but he'll present the winner with the belt, I think.
Yes.
Since we haven't had a champion.
Yep.
Because that'll give him his WrestleMania moment.
And as the winner holds the title up, he'll be attacked by a Neville. So.
Might happen.
And there's your WrestleMania moment as the King of the Cruiserweight holds the title up over the new champion who's laid out in the ring.
Would not surprise me.
Would not surprise me either. Would be cool. We have the women's WrestleMania Battle Royal. They say 10 minutes on that. So they take 1 minute off the men's.
Again, I think 15 would be fine.
The men's probably going to get less than the women's. They want to
highlight
showcase the women, yes.
This is the very first WrestleMania with this many women showcased at one time. But we do go to the tag team championship match for SmackDown as the Usos defend against the Bludgeon Brothers on the New Day. And they're saying 15 minutes on that match.
That's a
So a lot of these matches are really, really short.
Well, they got 13 right now, not counting if they add John Cena Undertaker.
But this is really short.
Aren't there a lot of short ones? I know.
I mean, number 3, that's way too short for a Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
I don't agree with all these, but we should time them out.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yes, we forget. But we have 14 minutes for the triple threat for the Intercontinental title.
The Fatal 4-Way, they're saving 7 minutes for the U.S. title. I don't like that.
So they're adding a person and cutting the time in half for the Intercontinental title. That's no. I'd say 17 minutes, maybe. We have the women's, SmackDown women's title. They say 16 minutes for Charlotte and Asuka.
Sheamus and Cesaro versus Braun Strowman and to be determined tag team partner for the Raw Tag Team Championships. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a big show, absolutely, they should destroy Sheamus and Cesaro.
I can see him ding, 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 ring the bell, a punch from Big Show. He stumbles into Braun. Braun hits the running power slam, 1, 2, 3, new tag team champion. So that's less than 5 minutes.
It wouldn't bother me.
No. They got some of them are going to be pretty short. That one could be a short one. But they got to add, they're supposed to have Elias singing, which could be interrupted by a few people, they say it. So.
They're saying, I know at least they're saying The Rock's going to interrupt.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine.
That'd be a surprise.
Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan.
Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool, yeah.
Shane and Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're saying 17 minutes. I don't know.
No, I'd give that at least 20 to 25 minutes.
There's a lot of tag matches this year.
Yes.
Triple H and Stephanie versus Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey, only 12 minutes. There's been a very long time that you have ever seen Triple H and Kurt in a 12-minute match.
That may lean toward more of Ronda Rousey, of her being so green.
Yeah, but Kurt could carry the match if he needs to.
Well, Triple H carried for everybody, so.
Absolutely would. And then Universal Championship match, probably shorter than this because of Brock Lesnar, but Roman versus Brock for 15 minutes.
I'm going to say it's 10.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Shinsuke and AJ Styles with the longest match of the night of 25 minutes, which that would not shock me, but longest match, but I would think it'd be longer than this.
And there's also talk now of them going on first.
I don't like that.
That's the last I've heard somebody talking about.
I say at least halfway through.
Could be first.
I mean,
start off with it.
AJ's done that before with Shane, and it was a much talked about match.
Yeah.
But I think this at least needs to go halfway through the match, through the show. I know it's not going to be the main event because of Brock and Roman, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But then we have Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, and I do see this being something like this with the Raw Women's Championship, and they're saying 4 minutes because Alexa Bliss has been running away. Nia can't get her hands on her. So in this match, once she gets her hands on her, I think she's going to absolutely squish her.
She should.
And it's going to be over with.
Yeah.
And Nia Jax be your new champion.
Mm-hmm.
And then a match that we don't even know if it's happening, but they're saying it is.
I mean, it's in the program, but it has a question mark over Undertaker's face.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the program, yeah.
Nice. John Cena versus The Undertaker, and they're saying 20 minutes. They're also saying The Undertaker would appear, but it may just lead up to something for another time. It may lead to another pay-per-view instead of this one. But they're saying this would give us about 2.5 hours of in-ring time for the main card. Last year's main card had about 2 hours and 20 minutes of in-ring time. This is a fair guess since there will be one more match this year. But really for 7 hours? Okay, so for 5 hours, because the main card is 5 hours long, right?
Yes.
5 hours and you only have 2.5 hours worth of wrestling?
That's a lot of talking.
And I know they got to do some backstage segments. They got to show the Hall of Fame people.
And the video packages, always. Every big match gets a video package.
And the I guess it's not really considering your entrances.
No, I think it's just probably just this in-ring.
Just straight up
time, yes.
bell ring to bell ring.
Yes.
But I would add a few minutes to some of this stuff.
Oh, yeah. I know. So, but we'll see. I mean,
if we remember, we're going to time this stuff out because I'm very, very curious about this because I would have thought there was more than 2 hours and 20 minutes last year.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess you're thinking and coming down the ramp and all this stuff. So yeah, from bell to bell, maybe right.
And I mean, there's the beginning, and there's going to be the video packages of New Orleans. There's going to be the Hall of Fame package, and then they're going to have all the Hall of Famers come out. Yep. There's going to be backstage segments.
Should be an Elias segment.
Yeah, the last segment, if The Rock's involved, it's going to be pretty long.
Yeah, it'll probably be 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
So, yeah.
But as we leave you with part 1 to head into part 2, which is the Pro Wrestling Review with the Monday Night Wars, we do end with some sad news of the WWE Hall of Famer Johnny Valiant of the Valiant Brothers, and his name was also
Luscious Johnny V. He managed the dream team of Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake.
At WrestleMania 1, correct?
Yeah, that was 3, because they abandoned him.
Oh, was it 3?
They abandoned him at 3.
Abandoned at 3.
But then he had Valentine and Dino Bravo.
Right.
For a while.
But yes, he passed away on Wednesday at the age of 71. He was reportedly hit by a car while crossing the street.
I know, that's a shocking way to go.
Yeah, they said it was not all of a sudden that he passed away. He passed away at the hospital later on, but they said that he was crossing a busy street and got hit. I mean, so the person who hit him, I mean, if it was a busy street, technically, if it wasn't at a crosswalk, the man won't be in. I don't think the man will get in trouble for that. Because if you're jaywalking, you can't. There's not anything legally they could do to the person that hit him.
Right, yes.
But that is unfortunate.
But he was crossing the crosswalk, the guy run a red light or something like that and hit him. And,
then there's criminal charges there. But the question is, I did not personally see it. Did they do a rest in peace thing before the Hall of Fame started?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't see that.
No video package, just a picture.
Just the picture with his date.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, at least they did that.
Oh, yeah.
And appropriately, because he's a Hall of Famer, that they did it before the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and they'll probably do it again a few more times.
Yeah.
So, well, that's it for part 1, folks, and this big NXT TakeOver, New Orleans weekend, and WrestleMania. Come on back to part 2, Pro Wrestling Review, as we do the Monday Night Wars, November 3rd through the 24th of 1997. 97 is coming to a close shortly.
It is. Right around the corner.
I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm Justin Carter.
We'll see you in a few clicks.